everyone, my name is Taylor and I talk about all things personal development. Please subscribe and click that notification bell to be notified every time I upload on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. You guys saw the title and we're going to talk about it because this is an epidemic and it always has been and it always will be. So why do women compete with each other? Honestly, it all boils down to survival, and that's why I'm so passionate about personal development, because when we develop ourselves, we can really stop the foolishness. Everyone is equipped with two brains. So we have a primal brain, which is our default brain, and then we have a rational brain, also known as the frontal cortex, that's responsible for emotions, impulse control, reasoning, and a bunch of other things. When our parasympathetic nervous system is activated, which is responsible for relaxation, that state of being allows us to actually welcome in what's meant for us because we're not in that stressful state. We're not being driven by our primal brain, i.e. we do not feel compelled to be in competition. We are in our resting state. Here's the problem, okay? Most people have a scarcity or lack mindset, which triggers our stress responses to activate, and this ultimately signals the primal brain that danger is near. Signals to the primal brain that we need to get in fight or flight mode. So this mindset causes women to fight over a lack of perceived resources. So whether it's a man or whether it's a position at work, whatever it is, if you are in a mindset of scarcity, then your stress responses always turned on, causing you to always feel like you need to be in survival mode. So a lot of women are competitive on purpose and they know exactly what they're doing. But then again, there are a lot of women who are in secret competitions with their friends or just other women in general, and they don't even know it because it's not intentional. Have you ever been out at a party and you and your homegirl are talking to a group of guys, and all of a sudden your friend starts talking about this embarrassing moment that happened to you because she wants to throw you under the bus and she's trying to be like funny and slick about it, but she's putting you on the spot? That's because her primal brain is in the driver's seat, because in her mind what's going on subconsciously is that if those guys give you all of the attention, there's not going to be any attention left over for her. She has to throw you under the bus in order to make herself look better. Once again, the scarcity mindset, and you know, it's all fun and games when it's just you girls, but the second guys come in or what's perceived as a resource for a woman, all that female empowerment goes straight out the window, and it's every woman for herself at that point. How do we make sure that we don't turn into that super competitive woman, even unintentionally? And how do we make sure that we either rid ourselves of the friends that we have that are super competitive, or that we don't make friends with super competitive women in the future? So one thing that I like to do if I'm feeling a little uneasy, or if I'm feeling my competitive nature starting to like emerge, I just like to kindly remind myself that what is meant for me is for me. And I know it's super cliche. How many times have you tried to hold on to something and it slipped through your fingers anyway because it just simply wasn't for you? So it doesn't matter how much you try to force something. If it's not meant for you, you're gonna lose it anyway. And that's the mindset that I like to have whenever, like I said, I'm feeling like I'm starting to maybe get a little competitive or something, because you don't have to compete for what's yours. When I do this, it definitely disarms my primal brain and it turns on that parasympathetic response, and I start to ease myself. Sometimes I even tell myself, like, primal brain, I know you're trying to protect me, but I'm not in any danger. Just having that anchor thought that is going to ground you, and it's gonna, like I said, disarm your primal brain to relax. And once you come up with a system that allows you to deal with your competitiveness like in real time, it gets much easier to deal with. As far as ridding yourself of, you know, the friends that you have that are super competitive, or to prevent yourself from making friends on accident with super competitive women, I think it's very important for us to realize that in order to attract better, we have to be better. So if we want to attract friendships with women who are emotionally mature and who understand the inner workings of what's going on when these things happen, then we need to be that person ourselves. That's why we have to keep working on ourselves, and we have to keep learning about ourselves and our triggers and things like that, because we want to attract people who are on the same wavelength as us. And there's nothing worse than having something good happen for you and having a bitter friend who secretly wants what you have. It's better to, if you are thriving, you want to also be friends with people who also have things to lose, also have things going for themselves, because if you have stuff going for yourself and the people around you don't, it doesn't matter how humble you are, you're always going to be a target in some way. Work on yourself in order to attract the kind of well-intentioned friendships that you desire. It all really just boils down to emotional maturity and developing our rational brain as much as possible. This will help us snap out of our survival instincts when those instincts aren't necessary. Our primal brain, it serves a great purpose. Like, it literally protects us. It's just sometimes our brains don't know the difference between perceived danger and actual danger. This is why having an abundance mindset and surrounding ourselves with other women who have abundance mindsets, it's literally mandatory. When you have an abundance of something, you don't have to compete for it. So in short, a scarcity mindset triggers the primal brain to activate, causing unnecessary competition and cattiness amongst women. We've all been there. So let me know your experience and check out my other videos to keep the conversation going.